There is a new survey out from the National Sleep Foundation, and it's revealing that more Americans, we're losing even more sleep. So why? Why is this happening? Well, because of these guys, these devices, all those late night texts and emails that you're getting, and even more so that you're getting up and you're replying to. How is that affecting us and our kids? We've got Dr. Dwayne Wooten here. He's a pediatrician with Rainbow Pediatrics, and we're talking about social media is terrific, don't get me wrong, but how is it affecting our sleep habits?
Well, you know, when we're sleeping, or trying to sleep, before we get to the point of wanting to go to get into bed and go to sleep, we have to, our bodies, it starts to have what we call a letdown. Body kind of knows that it's your sleep time. And why it knows that is because your body starts, when it gets dark, when the sun goes down after a period of time and you're ready to wind down, your body starts producing a substance called melatonin. Melatonin allows your brain to kind of turn off a little bit, but your brain never turns off, obviously, but slows it down. When you use those iPads and pods and everything else, the glow from the light tells your brain that the sun is still up.
Oh boy.
So your brain says, well, it's still light time. You're not supposed to turn down so quickly, and it decreases the secretion of melatonin. Therefore, you stay up. So these kids who are playing with their iPads and iPods and everything else, and their Nooks, might as well throw that out there too.
Oh sure, put them all out on the table.
They are stimulating the brain to not release melatonin. Therefore, they stay up.
So how many hours of sleep are Americans getting a night, both adults and kids?
Well, we've studied this in children in particular for a long time because children are losing sleep rapidly. You know, the average child up to age 12 months should sleep 10 to 12 hours minimally.
I'd love to sleep 10 to 12 hours minimum, yeah.
Over a year to school age, 8 to 10 hours. And then it stays about 8 hours after that. Kids are losing sleep precipitously because they are stimulated. I'll give you an example. My daughter is 7 years, my youngest is 7 years old. I had her with her grandparents this weekend. My parents went to sleep, and my father heard something hours later and walked out to the living room. My 7-year-old was sitting there studying the TV and looking at TV at like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my, oh wow.
That's what kids do. So when we think that they're asleep, they go to sleep, they wake up because they have TV still on, they have their iPad still on, the screen is still on, and that screen is still on, it will trigger you to wake up.
Oh my gosh. So, okay, those of us who have to set 2 alarms, such as myself, okay? So I have my alarm next to me, and then I have my cell phone, but I have it by the sink in the bathroom, just in case, you know, power, so I can get up in the morning.
Right.
Now, what kind of effect is that having on me?
It definitely affects you. You know, just the fact that your phone is on still, and you, like my phone right now is going off. Well, I'm a physician, I'm used to this. My phone goes off constantly, but if you're not used to that and your phone is near you and someone texts you at late night and you get that little ding or the screen lights up, that actually will make you wake up sometime, most of the time actually. Sometimes you don't even remember that you awakened and you'll go back to sleep, but you lost sleep during that time and you don't really realize until you wake up in the morning you're tired.
So are we still supposed to get 8 hours of sleep a night? I mean, does anybody get 8 hours of sleep a night?
Well, most physicians like myself don't. I mean, I've tuned my body to that. If I told you how much sleep I get a night, you wouldn't believe it. But I'm always on call, so my phone, if it goes off, I have to get up.
You just kick it into high gear and off you go.
Exactly. But most normal people, and again, we physicians aren't normal, should get 8 hours of sleep a night.
Boy.
That's really a standard.
We should, but what's the norm? 6?
The norm, I would say, is 5 to 6.
5 to 6. And what about for kids?
I ask my kids when they come into the office, I'll ask the parents, how long does Johnny sleep? Most kids sleep only about 60 to 70% of the time they're supposed to.
Because they're up putzing around and with all the electronic devices. Okay, parents setting good examples for the kids. What can we do to be a role model for them when it comes to all these?
Standard sleep time, an hour to 2 hours before they're to go to sleep. They cannot play with any devices, no electronic devices, no Nintendos, DS. I might as well put them out there too. Nothing to stimulate their brain You have to wind them down. So an hour or
okay.
two before their sleep time, no devices, no TV, and then they go to sleep.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, and I know with my triplets, I'm like 9 o'clock. Okay, hand me the phones. Everybody phones. They're not going upstairs with you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will plug them in down with us. Make sure they're off,
Exactly.
which is key too.
That's it.
What kind of things are happening to our bodies when we have such a lack of sleep?
Well, we've studied this again also multiple different times. When children don't get adequate sleep, they don't perform well in the classroom. You know, if you go to children who are failing all of a sudden in the classroom, which is a nuance, and you find out what the issues are at home, the number one issue is they're sleep deprived.
Sleep deprived.
So that is the number one thing in children that you have to understand. Their performance is directly proportional to how much sleep they get, how rested they are in the classroom.
Well, and it seems like too, the younger they need a lot of sleep, and then the older they get, they need more sleep too. And they just
Exactly.
keep going.
Exactly.
And then they wonder why they just burn out.
Exactly. And you have children falling asleep in classrooms all
the time.
Yep.
Great information. Thanks so much, Doctor.
My pleasure.
Okay, get your sleep. Turn these things off. We'll be right back after this.